I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
AutoSave, welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 41. Last episode we were introduced to the dwarf in the flask, a homunculus created by slave number 23, which was then given the name Hohenheim.
By
Van
the
Hohenheim.
homunculus.
By the homunculus.
Yeah.
And would later, I guess, become father. And that's where we're at. Well, what an episode. Oh my god. What are we going to do now?
Last episode was ginormous. Not only did we get that, but we also have some really fun sharing of information from Ryza to Roy. Selim Bradley is a homunculus.
Yep.
A lot of things happened last episode. I don't even, I feel so... This, tension is built up within my body going into the
I feel like I need,
episode.
a beach episode or some,
beach
slice of life episode now.
I mean, that opens up the question of, what are we even getting into after what we just witnessed?
I'm not sure. You ready?
Yep.
Sweet. I feel like we're in the big potatoes of it, Anna.
Yep.
I'm thinking we pick up with Al.
Okay.
That is what I'm thinking. It would we need to see if he is able to find them in the storm.
Okay, I like that.
We can't go to Briggs. Hopefully we don't go to Briggs.
I feel like we got a good look at what's happening in Central that I don't necessarily feel like we need to go right back there. I'm cool with just more Hohenheim. Honestly, I'm cool with that.
Dynamite?
He would know. He's an expert. No way they're gonna get separated since we put that out there. Foreshadowing.
I don't feel great about that. The Abyss.
Killing him though, that sounds hard.
That's still a maybe.
What variables are you willing to risk everyone's lives on?
Oh. Letting someone live is harder than killing them.
Kind of envious.
Immortality and gold.
A true person.
Means that they're a perfect person. And since gold is the perfect metal, Shinhito. Oh my god. Jesus.
Wow.
Aww. Being helpful.
Oh no.
Al could be stuck there for all of eternity if not being found right now.
Right?
Great animation.
緊急連絡があってビッグズ砦に中央軍が入った。アームストロング少将もセントラルに呼び出しを食らったらしい。だから今砦に行くのは危険なんだ。
Where do we go?
Right.
どうする？戻るわけにもいかないしな。
どこか他の場所に隠れるしかないよ。
どこかって。
Scar's already walking.
Make a place to hide.
ついてこい。どこへ行くんだ？ここからそう遠くない場所にアスベックという村があるはずだ。そこのスラムに同胞たちが身を寄せていると聞いたことがある。イシュマールのスラムか。
ロが急にいなくなったらキンブリーさんに怪しまれない？大丈夫大丈夫。兄さんが何とかしてくれてるから。
第3班3名。第4班5名。
Is this a fake owl?
We just made a suit of armor?
おいおいアルフォンス君、そこははいだろう。
Oh my god.
そこをなんとかよろしく。ほら、キンブリーが見てる。
I love it. Genius. Flawless execution.
He tumbles down the stairs.
キンブリーたちはどこの捜索だ？ここから入って行動を調べるそうです。北の兵は信用できないからセントラルから連れてきた部下だけで行くそうです。やつめ、気づいたか。
I keep getting scared for Miles' safety every time we like turn a corner or don't see someone else in the frame.
はい。行けるか？この距離なら。
He's caught onto you!
どうした？
Ed.
No, what?
Choosing a different way.
中は相当入り組んでるみたいだし。あなたがわざわざ引き止めに来るということはここで当たりですね。それとも狙撃手を配置するまでの時間稼ぎですか？気づいてたのか。これだけ周りに殺気が満ちていれば気づきます。
It's the bloodlust.
シュバル戦を生き残ってませんよ。で、慎重にな。あいつだ。
Oh no.
What a face.
Oh shit!
Chimera. The two that he had walk away. It was like they were getting in position, basically.
Yeah.
Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Do you think anyone's like into Kimberly?
Like fans of the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Just the way that he had like the Philosopher's Stone hanging outside of his mouth is so, I don't know. I don't know.
There are people that like the major red flag men.
Oh!
These two are less gross than Sampano and Jerso.
Oh!
Similar to how General Raven was disposed of. Ooh! Ooh! Thank goodness for deep snow.
Oh!
I bet this dynamite can work.
Even if it's soaked through, we still have the basic ingredients.
He's an alchemist. The amount of studying that I would be doing if I was an alchemist to know what everything is made out of. Wait!
Well played.
Oh, so good.
何の匂いですか？アンモニア。腹が効きすぎるってのも困りもんだな。人質の心配がなくなった途端これですか？何のことかな。俺はおめえの知ってることを洗いざらい吐いてもらおうってだけだ。見上がりで若者の相手をするのは骨が折れそうですね。それにあなたに付き合ってる暇もない。これを使わせてもらいましょうか。
Oh, yeah, he is. New gear. Oh my god.
You did say that dealing with a youngster like him.
Oh.
勝った殺さない覚悟。立派なポリシーです。だがそれは戦場においてつけ込まれる隙にな
Oh,
る。
his eyes. Oh, it's a
Another.
decoy.
その甘さがあなたの敗因。
Look at it just falling.
Oh. Oh. What do we do?
やばい。また引っ張られて。何引っ張られてって。どうした鎧の。魂の。怖い。
魂が引っ張られる。お嬢さん、今までこんなことがあったのかい？
起きて。やだ。ある。どうしたら。
Oh, wow.
His resolve to not kill anyone.
To go the extra mile to help them.
前の方が重傷じゃねえか。
勘違いすんなよ。この腹に刺さってるのを抜いてくれるやつがいないと困るんだよ。
俺たちにその鉄骨を抜けってのが一応敵なんだぞ。
頼む。
でもお前それ抜いたら即大量出血であの世行きだぞ。
抜いた瞬間大出血する前に錬金術で塞げ。
お前医療方面の錬金術の経験があるのか？
通り研究した。
一通りってこれ多分内臓ズタズタだぞ。キンブリさんみたいに賢者の石でもなけや。
It dropped down.
I'll use my own
You
life
wouldn't
in
use it
place
anyway.
of Philosopher's Stone. Oh my god.
いいのか？
運の甘さが招いた結果ならケツは自分で深
何かわからんが迷ってる暇はないな。抜くぞ。
Put something in your mouth to grind your teeth on, man.
抜いてくれ。自分の命を一種のエネルギー体と考えろ。賢者の石と同じだ。そうだ、俺は今魂一個分の賢者の石。思い出せ。あの時の感覚。
I wonder what Hohenheim would react in the future to this.
医者に見せないと。
いや、そんな暇ない。
おい。
キンブリを追わねえと。
We need to be with Mei Chang and Marco.
Oh my god.
たく、こんな状態で戦って勝ち目ないだろうに。なんだ。おっと、賢者の石か。キンブリさんが持ってたやつだな。そうだな。あの野郎とはこれでおさらばとするか。ああ、ここで死んだことにして俺たちは自由の身だ。で、こいつはどうする？死なせるわけにはいかねえだろう。
We owe him our lives after all. Oh my god, I love them.
So, both groups have 2 chimeras now?
Whew.
I can see it so clearly in my mind. Like Hohenheim reuniting with his sons and just being like this, like, glad to see you're okay.
What did
and
you
then
do to
being
yourself?
able to, like, sense
Yeah.
internally.
I mean, could you get more intentional about the ending of last episode with Izumi and what he did and
right?
into what Ed did to himself? One soul, Philosopher's Stone. It's his own. Okay, that was Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 41. Jesus, man. Ed is fucking awesome. I am so glad that he is the character that he is, and it's not him saying that, like, saying his ideals and his idea of not wanting to kill just so that Miles can have his quotes that I definitely want to bring up at some point in the discussion, but like for Ed to realize that he's wrong or something at the end of the day, and he should have just done it. Ed knows that his ideals and his decisions that he makes are going to make it tougher for him, and he's willing to wipe his own ass with it. Like, I adore it. I love it to death.
We really have a nice conversation happening between the kind of beginning events of the episode and then the final events of the episode with Ed. When we have Miles walking away with the other Northern soldiers, they're talking about Ed as he's a kid. We've seen war. We've had to kind of learn that sometimes it's harder to let someone live than kill them. And we're talking about him as young and as a kid. But then Ed goes on, yes, to continue to try to not kill people. But he goes on to do something really hardcore, really mature, and really strong at the end of the episode with what he does with his own body in order to try to, not only what he does with his own body, but he takes his values and his principles of not wanting other people to die. And, like, yes, he utilizes the people he saves in order to hopefully save himself. But I think
nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed. What he does at the end is just, I think it's a direct conversation with what's happening at the beginning of the episode with Miles and the other Northern soldiers talking about Ed.
Yeah, the lines are like, letting someone live is harder than killing someone. The Elric brothers have chosen the more difficult way. This comes after acknowledging, like, that, oh, they used to think like that, but after all the wars that they went through, they begin to see things differently. Mm-hmm. But by saying the Elric brothers have chosen the more difficult way, it's acknowledging that, like, they have already come to an impasse that they could have chosen to kill people, like, because it is less dangerous to your own life.
Oh, okay. I like what you're saying here, that they've chosen the more difficult path, meaning they've already stepped onto the path.
Yeah.
They had a moment in time where someone else might have already made the change, but they have not yet made that change.
There's another line that says, your sense of mercy could cost you and your friends their lives. And I love it because it's almost like, if anything gives Ed any pause, which I don't think it necessarily does, but your friends' lives, I think, is the one thing that he would have to really reconsider and then choose to double down on. Like, your sense of mercy affecting your own life, whatever, I think Ed would die on that hill. And I think he'd die on, like, we know what kind of character he is, especially by his resolve at the end of the episode. But your friends, their lives really stuck out to me.
We are kind of already healing from the hostage situation within this episode. Yeah, so we
Look at his reaction,
we know
man.
how it affects him when it is someone else's life, especially someone that he's close to, his friend. When you say your friends, we're meaning like his brother, Winry, mainly, I would say. Obviously, there are other people involved in this like umbrella of your friends here, like other people that he could care about getting hurt. But Winry has just recovered basically from being in a hostage situation from this episode.
Yeah, I mean, still technically a hostage, but I love that we brought up the dynamite in Winry's party first, and it being too damp and it not being dangerous, so Mei Chang doesn't have to worry about blowing everyone up.
They really were getting me with the beginning when we're walking down in the mines, because I was like, okay, what thing are we saying here that is going to end up being foreshadowing? Is it going to be the line about, oh, don't get separated? Is it going to be like, oh, people are following after us, which was another line that was said.
No, it's the dynamite.
It was going to be the dynamite, and my mind was going to the other two over the dynamite. Which is kind of silly.
Using it to utilize ammonia. I love it so much. I think that one thing that's never lost to us as viewers, to anybody as viewers, is how intelligent Ed is. He, like, you were saying it during the reaction, like, oh yeah, I'd study so much. I'd study so much too, but I wouldn't remember a quarter of the shit that Ed remembers.
I would do, like when it was always like a really special occasion, certain teachers would let you bring like a note card to a test or an exam, and you would try your hardest to either type something up and print it in the smallest font possible, or I have really, really small handwriting and can write really, really small, and you'd fill it and you'd cram it with every possible thing. I have an awful memory. I feel like I would have to literally actually carry around some sort of cheat sheet of maybe the most important, in the same way that you'd go to a foreign country and you'd want to know how to ask where the bathroom is.
Yeah.
Like some kind of life-saving cheat sheet. Like, what are the most important things for me to know what something is made out of so I could get myself out of a sticky situation? I would have to carry a note card with me.
Yeah, Ed's just built different, man. I wanted to bring up this piece of animation from Yoki, that it's not like crazy, like it's just such a small moment, but I thought it was so like nice and such a nice touch. It's when we reunite with Al, we save him from the depths of the snow that he's buried in, and we see Yoki trying to make sense of Al getting here so quick, and to draw the line that he just went straight through. Like, that's so risky. You crossed over the mountain, and he just reaches in to grab out the map, and it's so fluid. It's so nice. I wanted to bring up the scene because of the great animation, but also to talk about what inevitably ends up happening to Al. He faints. We see the soul being pulled away again, right? We just saw it 2 episodes ago. But do you think that there's any correlation to Al having his soul be, struggled with right now, and Ed losing strength in his own life and being in a weakened state? Like, if you could theorize that their souls would inherently be linked after the initial instance of Al losing his body and then it being his soul being attached to the suit of armor, would there be any world of conceiving that maybe Al has a weakened sense of soul or being dragged away if Ed is in dire circumstances?
It makes the most sense to me as a whole that it would happen in tandem. But unfortunately, with the fact that Al has just recently, as of 2 episodes ago, had this soul
when
tug,
Ed was fine.
When Ed was fine.
Yeah.
And a line that they say as Al is fainting kind of for the first time before seemingly finally actually going unconscious and not responding is, has this happened before? A character asks him, has this happened before? Which really makes us think about the fact that it has. And so I'm like, it makes the most sense to me that it would be incredibly linked, and that, oh, if one person falls over here, the other person's gonna fall over here. I did 100% expect something to happen to Al, or him to sense something with Ed when we saw Ed's injuries. But I'm kind of at a loss for truly making sense of it with the fact that this has already happened to Al recently and Ed was fine.
I completely agree with you. I think that at the end of the day, if I had to pick one or the other, it would be that it isn't connected to Ed, like losing consciousness almost, and just being in such a close to death experience because of it just happening a couple of episodes ago without that connection. But I think it's interesting to bring up regardless.
I mean, it's still like the questions are still there from the first time we even saw what happened with Al a few episodes ago. We were like, okay, so what is the timing here? Why is this happening? Is it just because of the environment we're in?
Is it a time limit? Is it like,
Is there something in terms of like, if you were to look down at the timeline from some grander godlike view, is there some faded time period where, oh, your time is up here? Like the soul is going to start pulling. It's been a certain amount of years and that is kind of all you have. Or is it something to do with other impacts in the country? Is there something, the underground, what's happening to the entire country as a whole? Is that something that affects or could affect Al?
Interesting.
I just have a lot of questions about why it even previously happened.
Do you think that we're going to be able to like carry Al to Azbek?
We're going to have to, honestly, we probably saw foreshadowing of what needs to happen within this episode.
Somebody getting in the suit and walking in it.
Someone has to get inside of the suit of armor.
Dude, that was amazing. Him. I love the solution there from Ed. What a fantastic idea.
But can't you see that being like how we have to get the suit of armor to Azbek is
potentially
where we're going to?
Who would do it? Scar?
I'm going to go with
Zampano or
yeah. I can't see Dr. Marco doing it. I can't see Yoki doing it.
Yeah.
Scar maybe, but I don't know.
Mei Chang. Before we leave that group of people though, the conversation that happened when they were still in the mine of like trying to look at Scar's brother's journal, I wanted to get some of those lines out of the way. I get it. So a perfect person is a gold person then. In a sense, the person who brought alchemy to Jing was an immortal man who had golden hair and eyes. So that's apparently how they got to be called that.
And we're getting a shot of Hohenheim leaving Izumi.
I am like falling out of my chair as that
so
like
fun,
happens.
Because like getting him leaving away from Izumi when we literally just witnessed him tell her like, hey, I'm an immortal man.
And then Winry says gold hair and eyes sounds like Ed and Al. I bet Mei Chang is like, Al doesn't have golden hair and eyes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Or she's like, oh my god, does he really?
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to get his body back. See, that's why no one can get inside Al to walk him to Azbek, because Mei Chang will be too jealous.
That's true.
Oh,
you're right.
Obviously, Winry can't. 100% no. Mei Chang's gonna be like, absolutely not. Winry
too
cannot.
soon.
Don't even touch him.
I thought it was interesting how the interaction with Kimblee and Ed played out, because there are three different circumstances to look at it, right? You have Miles and his crew aiming up, getting ready in position to snipe Kimblee and his men, and it being like, all right, Ed's probably here and we're going to get this job done. He listened to what our decision was going to be. There is Kimblee's interpretation of it, of Ed walking up to Kimblee in that situation was just to give more time and positioning for the snipers, which Ed was like kind of acknowledged a little bit in the moment of the conversation. But what Ed's actual intention was in doing that was, I feel like, neither of those things, right? Was trying to get as much information out of Kimblee as he possibly could. Yeah.
Ed literally says, as he follows Kimblee even after that, like, that he even, after he deals with the ammonia, with the two chimeras, his first thing he says to Kimblee is, I want information from you.
Yep.
So we know that he wasn't trying to help the snipers. He wasn't trying to help Miles. And he wasn't trying to save Kimblee for saving Kimblee's sake necessarily. He has things that he wants to know from Kimblee, and that's why Kimblee needs to be alive and needs to be in front of him so he can ask these questions.
I really loved Ed's approach to fighting here, though. You have the new automail. It's lighter. He's quicker. And what he chooses to do is go after the transmutation circles and go after Kimblee's hands. And that's absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, you're fighting against somebody with a fucking, I don't know, like a JTAG, a modded controller. You're fighting against somebody who has 2 Philosopher's Stones at their will.
But he also has 2 hands with 2 circles on them, and he only got one of them.
I just, what are you to do? Like, the lines were like, the resolve not to kill. It is a fine policy. However, on the battlefield, it's something that can be taken advantage of. And I hate that they're right, but it's going to make Ed being right in the end all the more worth it.
Mm-hmm. If we get to see at the very end of the series just how many lives were spared, I mean, think of the Chimeras just as a really amazing example. These are people who, one, don't really like following Kimberly. 2, they don't know about the homunculus, and they don't know about Father, and they don't know that Bradley is a plant. You know, they're doing their jobs, they've been experimented on, they miss their families. They have a lot of things going on, but they aren't a part of the big bad plot. And the fact that we're going to be able to maybe save as many of them as possible and give them a chance to fight on the right side, the side that is actually caring about this country and the people that live in it, is just really beautiful. And it's like just a testament to the resolve of Ed and Al, the more of chimeras that they can save.
Yeah. Man, how many people have gotten fucking, like, hurt or, interacted with in, like, a bloody or fucked up way within their body in this series? It is, like, not only have bodies been taken away, but we've now seen Ed impaled. We've gotten, last episode, even though it wasn't like that, it was like that. Hohenheim had to, like, go inside of Izumi.
This was the worst one, though, I think.
Kimberly was just, like, 10 episodes ago stabbed and like, damn.
This was probably the worst.
I thought...
Is it because I love the character? I don't think it's just because I love the character. I think it was just actually, objectively, the worst.
It was beautiful. Genuinely, it was brilliant. I thought that they did such a great job at conveying the injury that Ed was... like, what happened to him this episode. I thought that the way that they... framed him getting up to reveal that there was added blood loss. We couldn't see anything impaled inside of Ed at first. And I love the drops, but what comes after it, you can see it all like in one fluid motion and line and stream, how thick the blood flows out of Ed and lands on the ground. It's so well done. And it just, ugh.
I think that the viewer knows what the injury is before we see it, purely because of the location that you start to on the ground under him, that you start to see the blood fall and the manner in which it does. My mind immediately went to, he's impaled with something. There is an injury to something in his like midsection.
You know where my mind went to? I'm like, man, when we're talking about how many different forms a Philosopher's Stone can take, whether it being like physical, like hard or gelatinous or like a fluid, when the blood's flowing in that state, in that color of red, I'm like, God, yep, human lives equal Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, it definitely also brings you back to like Hohenheim when he's like, I'm gonna use you now. Yeah. I'm sorry, and he uses the people that he knows and sends them into the ground to do, so we still don't really know what.
Do you think that at the end of this series, it will be said that Ed has a shortened life because of what he's done to heal himself here? Like, let's say nothing else interferes with Ed to give him back or restore him. At this point going forward, I would believe that his life would be shortened due to what he had to do to heal himself and his organs in not a perfect way, but a way that will close the wound and keep blood loss from happening.
Shortened until he comes to meet with someone who can help him.
Hopefully.
I say that because the reason that Izumi could not be helped was because the organ she lost was a testament to her sin.
Mm-hmm.
This is not that. Therefore, and I feel like we're really getting them as parallels, as things that we're able to compare and contrast from. And I feel like with it being so explicitly said that the reason why Hohenheim could not restore everything to how it was is because of the testament of her sin. And this was not that. Therefore, I can believe that whether it is Hohenheim and or someone else that knows medical alchemy would be able to help him.
I like
And
that.
so shortened lifespan until help.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Obviously, this is a hopeful perspective.
Yeah. My last thing that I have is just admiration, appreciation for Ed's voice actor. It exceeded the levels that I think I've ever heard it in the series so far, and that's saying something because it's already been so extraordinary. That's the kind of thing that makes you like, man, I wish I could do something like that. It's so impressive and so extraordinary that it can like I'm on the verge of tears watching Ed scream as this is getting pulled out of him slowly, and it's so impressive to me. So good.
I can completely agree with that. I agree with that.
Do you have anything else?
I was just like, Azbek, I hope we're safe in Azbek. I
Get
hope
to the
that
slums.
when we get there, we're safe for a little bit and we're able to continue looking through Scar's brother's book, able to learn some more. But overall, I hope we're safe. And then obviously, Kimberly ran away yet again, within this episode. So where is he off to? Is he off to complete one of his missions of massive bloodshed? Possibly.
I hope that he isn't suspicious of Al because he wasn't present in the fight with Ed and him.
He might be, but does he really even care at this point?
You're right. All right. You good?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hope to see you next time.